discoveries want you to be well. In fact, we want you to live longer, healthier, and happier. And you can. But what are the essentials for that optimum health? What are the essentials for well-being? Well, first of all, wellness has to do with the whole person. In fact, it is mental, emotional, physical, social, and spiritual. And it is also having a positive attitude. And especially as people get older, they need that young, vibrant attitude that keeps them healthy. In fact, if we want to be living to that healthy 100, like those centenarians, then we need to have that positive attitude. And I was watching a film put out by Florida Hospital, and they were interviewing many centenarians. And they asked them, how is it that you're living so long and you're still active? And one said, well, I exercise every day. Another one said, well, I eat a really good diet. And then they came to another man. In fact, he was a surgeon, and he was doing surgeries even at like 85 and 90. And they said, what is it that keeps you so healthy? And he looked at that interviewer, and he pointed to him, and he said, young man, one thing is for sure. You don't hang around old people. And what he was really saying was, look, I want to be young, I want to be vibrant, and children are active and young people are active, and he wanted to be active. And so we want to have that positive attitude. So is health a matter of chance, or is it a matter of choice? Well, do our lifestyle choices really make a difference? Is it really up to us as to whether we have good health or not? Now, there are some environmental factors, there are hereditary factors, but yes, it's also a matter of choice. And our daily choices, my friends, may help or harm our health only a little. But when these choices become our habits over years and over decades, the results become major. For example, someone says, well, I can eat whatever I want and when I want. I'm young and I'm strong. Or I don't need 8 hours of sleep. I can get along on 5 or 5.5 hours of sleep. Well, there's that old saying that says, sell your health when you're young, and when you're old, you can't buy it back. So we need to start practicing our health even when we're young. It's very, very vitally important. In fact, lifestyle choices play the key role in determining both the quality and the length of our lives. And science is proving that beyond a shadow of a doubt. In fact, Loma Linda University Medical School has done many, many studies on longevity, and they have discovered that you can live longer and happier when you make the right lifestyle choices. So there are some things that are up to us. In fact, by our lifestyle choices, we can even add an extra 10 to 12 years. Did you know that? Now, my husband has often said in our health programs, my wife is 73 years old and she ran her first marathon at age 70. But I keep telling him, I'm not 70. When I did my health age, I was 56. And so I'm not 73. I'm 56. So I have to walk like I'm 56. I have to act like I'm 56. I have to swim like I'm 56. I have to ride my bike. And it's that activity that keeps us living longer and healthier.
Now I have to run to keep up with her.
But by our lifestyle choices, my friends, we can either live longer or we can contribute to premature aging. So it can go one way or the other by our lifestyle choices. Now, Luigi Fontana is a physician, and he's also the co-director of the Longevity Research Program at Washington University in St. Louis. And he says this, and I quote, approximately 25% of your risk of death is due to genetics. Now, if 25% is due to genetics, how much is left? 75%. And he says this, and I quote again, of the remaining 75%, diet is likely the most important factor, even more so than exercise. Now, I recognize how important exercise is. In fact, we are really try to be very faithful about getting those 10,000 steps in every day. 10,000 steps. We don't want to stop until we get that in. But even more important is diet, because what we put into our mouth and when we put it in actually determines how long we can actually live. And then Cheryl Rock, who's a PhD and a professor of family medicine and public health at the University of California in San Diego School of Medicine, says this: the science is clear. Eating the right foods can lead to a longer, healthier life. Science is proving that beyond a shadow of a doubt. In fact, a diet rich in whole grains, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, and beans extends the life of the telomeres that are attached to the chromosomes in our cells. Now, some of you may be wondering, what are telomeres? Well, these telomeres are actually connected with the chromosomes, and you have to look at it like shoelaces. If you have a pair of shoelaces and you have those tips on the end of the shoelaces, and if those get broken, then pretty soon the shoelaces begin to fray, right? Well, this is what happens when we don't live healthfully. We keep breaking those tips, those telomeres, and they get shorter and shorter. And the shorter the telomeres, the shorter the lifespan. The longer the telomeres, the longer the lifespan. And so you have telomeres that actually prevent the chromosomes from fraying and altering the genetic codes that they contain. This is crucial since genetic material within our cells either shortens with age, but do so much more slowly in those that eat a healthy diet. So when we eat a healthy diet, when we're eating those foods that our mom told us to eat those fruits and veggies, right? Then we can lengthen those telomeres. And then when researchers studied this at Harvard University Medical School, which is a very prestigious university, the oldest university in America, founded in the 1600s, they tested diets to see which diet could extend the life of those telomeres. And the Mediterranean diet won because it solely focuses on whole plant foods. So we need to get more plant foods, not processed foods, not other foods that have been altered by processing, but those good blueberries and blackberries and strawberries and carrots and all those wonderful foods that we need to be eating. And so why do this? Well, because the top killers in America are just rising very, very quickly. What are those top major causes of death in the United States? Heart disease is number one, but cancer is right very close. And as we go around the world and we do these lectures around the world, I find that the same thing here is happening around the world. Even China, when they did the China study and they were on basically a plant-based diet, they were living longer and not having as many of these chronic diseases. But now, because they've taken in the Western diet, then you have heart disease, cancer, and stroke as high in these countries as well. Cardiovascular disease is the number one killer in America. And 17.3 million deaths are from heart disease. Absolutely amazing. This is according to the American Heart Association statistics. And so it is rising very, very quickly. And then, of course, there's good news. The good news is that heart disease can be reversed with our lifestyle practices. There's no question about it. We can reverse heart disease and we can reverse diabetes too.